Hello guys, and thank you for making it to part 3 and the final video of my tauros series. This video will be showing how I made all the joints for this model. As you guys can see, I've made a flat surface on the bottom half of the leg so the joint can be inserted there. I'm using a cylinder which I turned into a disc by changing the height. The disc is for cutting a hole into the top part of the leg. Also, I'm going to put the disc onto the flat part of the lower leg. The solid piece that is connected to the lower leg will be wider than the hole, and that is because I want the knees to be sturdy and not bend without me trying to bend it. Right here, I'm making the hole smaller, as I mentioned earlier. After getting the leg into position, next up was the pin and the pinhole, which will be what's holding the leg together. I will be using a cylinder to make the pin and the hole. Unlike the disc from earlier, the pin and the hole are going to be the same size. Once the pin is in position, I duplicate the pin and the lower leg, then move both of them off to the side. I then delete the original leg, leaving only the pin, and that pin will be turned into a hole. To complete this leg joint, all I need to do now is to shorten the length of the pin. So the back leg knee joint is going to be the same concept, so I'm not going to show it. Now I'm going to make the joint that is going to connect the legs onto the body. I'll be using a cylinder and a sphere for this. The cylinder will be attached to the leg on one end, and the other end will be the sphere. So I made a duplicate of the cylinder because I'm going to use it to make a hole going into the body so the sphere can slide in. The hole will be slightly smaller than the sphere. By doing so, the joint can move freely but will also have a tight fit. Now it's time to make the tail. For the tail, I'm using the bent pipe shape. This shape is kind of like a cylinder, but it allows you to bend the shape to the degrees that you want. Now I'm making a pin for the tail so it can be pinned into the body. For the hair at the tip of the tail, I just combined a few pineapple shapes together. After finishing the tail, I made the pinhole for the tail to go into, which is just going to be a cylinder. So the last thing I'm going to do is adding the neck joint and also the joint that's going to connect the two bodies. I'm using the comb for the neck because the neck usually gets thicker as it goes towards the body. I'm using the sphere as a joint so the head can be able to move freely whichever way it wants. So now that I got the neck joint to where I want, I will be making the hole inside the head so the neck can slide into it. And I will be using a cylinder, and it will also be slightly smaller than the sphere. The last thing that I need to do to complete this model is to make a crater by the hole for the neck joint. This is so the head can have enough space to move. The head will be right up against the wall and have very little movement if I don't make this crater. So the joint that's going to connect the two parts of the body, it's going to be the same exact concept as the neck. So this will be the end of my Tauros action figure series. Thank you guys if you made it this far. If you would like to see more custom 3D printed Pokemon, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks again for watching.